Hello, my name is Grant Kramer, and I am a professor emeritus at the University of Nevada, Reno. Today we will be talking about the 13th variety in my series on grapevine varietals that were grown at the University of Nevada, Reno's Ag Experiment Station Valley Road Vineyard. Today we will be talking about Tempranillo.
Tempranillo is a black grape that makes red wine, as you can see on the left here in this glass of red wine. On the right here, you see a vineyard in the Rioja region, a place that I've been to many times. Spain is ranked third in the world by country in grape production. Tempranillo is the major red grape grown in Spain and grown mostly in the Rioja region and in the region called Ribera del Duero. Both are what are considered high elevation vineyards. That is, they are grown between 1,500 and 3,000 square feet, or 500 meters to about 1,000 meters. At UNR, we grow our grapes at 4,500 feet. So we are considerably higher in elevation than the Rioja or the Ribera del Duero region, which are some of the highest grapevine growing regions in Europe. So the origins of Tempranillo go back to Spain. It's thought it's most likely from the Rioja region, dating back hundreds of years ago or more. The parents have been genetically determined to be Albillo Mayor, which interestingly is a white grape, and Benedicto, which is a black grape. There are many synonyms, mostly coming from the Spanish and Portuguese origins: Aragonés, Aragonese, Sensibel, Garnacho Foño, which is a synonym from South America, where many hundreds of years ago it was taken from Spain or Portugal. I guess it was probably from Spain. Tempranillo Tinto, Tinta Roriz, and Tinto del País. The most popular locations are obviously Spain and Portugal. They make up the majority of production of Tempranillo in the world, but it's growing in the USA and in Australia. Now, I thought Tempranillo had some very good potential for our Reno area, and it was recommended by Andy Walker at UC Davis because it has a late bud break and an early ripening character to it. So let's examine what Tempranillo's climate characteristics are. First of all, it likes an intermediate to warm climate, not a very cool climate, not a very hot climate. We have found that it has a lower cold hardiness to other grapes in this category. And perhaps that's a reason why it's grown in the southern part of Europe and not in the northern part of Europe. It had very poor survival. In our UNR trials, we had 6 different plots with 15 vines, and only a few of the vines out of each of those plots had any survival at all. So we got very little yield, and the grape clusters that we did get were very nice, but it just didn't survive the winters. It wasn't the frost, something to do with the colder winters that we have. Interestingly, a Ribera del Duero study found that Tempranillo was more temperature sensitive than Cabernet Sauvignon and very sensitive to the environment around it. It is thought to do better in the higher altitudes, and I think that largely comes from the growth and wine production characteristics of the Rioja and Ribera del Duero areas, which are considered higher elevation. Okay, the growth characteristics of Tempranillo. It's a vigorous vine. Its leaves have 5 deep sinuses between the lobes, and it has a moderately deep lyre-shaped petiolar sinus with a large tooth margin. The clusters are medium to large They're long and conical, as evidenced here in the right side of this figure. And the berries are compact or somewhat compact, depending on the clone. Berry color is blue-black. Berries are of medium size, round, and thick-skinned. When pressing the clusters, a lot of juice will come out of it, so they're very juicy. The vines are productive. They are grown both as a spur pruned bilateral cordon and head train pruning. VSP is recommended, at least in California, although you will find in Europe grown as head train vines, as seen here in this picture on the right, one of my favorite pictures I've taken in the Rioja region at the wonderful Vivanco winery. If you zoom in close, you can see all those beautiful vines growing back behind this artistically designed building. As I mentioned before, the grapes are late bud break and early ripening. This is a good characteristic for grapes that you're trying to avoid the spring and fall frosts. It has good berry color, but at Valley Road, we really didn't get any statistical data on these grapes because we had such poor winter survival. The aroma and flavor descriptions of Tempranillo are of red fruit, plum, leather, tobacco, and herbs. Often it has low acidity, but this is often climate dependent upon whether you are in a warm climate where you'll have lower acidity than in a cooler climate. The tannins are moderate. The wines are light to full-bodied with ruby red color depending on the growing conditions and the winemaker's preferred style. From the limited amount of grapes produced at UNR, the wines had very good color and good fruit characteristics. In Rioja, the so-called Reserva wines are always oaked, as I learned in my visits there. There are more than 20 registered clones at the Foundation Plant Services at UC Davis, and you could visit that site listed here to discover more about the different clones. Here's just a few pictures posted by the Foundation Plant Services of the different Tempranillo grapes that they've produced. So in summary, the current Tempranillo potential is low in our northern Nevada region. I would rank this as in the bottom of the reds tested in our northern Nevada region based upon its cold hardiness. It does have late bud break and early ripening, which is a good characteristic for avoiding frost. And it makes good wines with good color.
Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, then please like it on my YouTube channel and subscribe to get more interesting videos of grapes and wine. Have a great day.